afterlife. Even in your afterlife, God's blessings continue. Did you know that?
Yes, he does.
Did you know when you get to the New Jerusalem, you're still blessed?
Yes.
Because now that's what you're blessed with. No sickness. No suffering.
Yes.
Every day is a good day.
Yes.
You walk out your front door to your own mansion designed especially for you by Jesus.
Yes.
And you see life, you see abundance, you see glory, you see love, you see purpose.
Yes.
Over there.
Yes.
When you step out on your porch today, you may find a dead body standing in front of you right here. See, this world is temporary, but it's designed to entice you. It's designed to look good. And I've been told this is the day I came into the world, everything that looked good ain't good for you.
Amen.
Yeah.
And you know, I never understood that until it happened. Until I let that thing that I thought looked good almost destroyed me. But when I saw what Jesus provides for me, when I saw what Jesus had in store for me, when he gave me a glimpse into where I am right now, it was worth giving it up. It was worth putting it down. Because it was separating me from where I needed to be, and that's in him.
Yes.
Turn away from your wicked ways. But God, I'm not bad. I don't do nothing bad. But yeah, if you ever say that, the first thing you did was lie. That first thing you did was lie. There is nobody in here that's a goody two-shoes. Amen.
Amen.
We're just grown up a little bit. We mean what? The only thing I guess is the baby. Because now I can't even say that about Kanara. Because she get mad at her teacher at school. That's a bad thing. But innocence is the only thing that separates that from who we are. Innocence, if you've never sinned in your life, and the only person I know that is free from sin is Jesus Christ.
Yes.
So therefore it's okay. But God says turn from your wicked ways. And in this situation, he's not saying, calling you out and saying you're bad. He's just saying those things that try to separate you, those things that entice you, I want you to turn away from that.
Yes.
Turn your back to it.
Yes.
I know it's going to be there. I know you want it. I can see it in your mind. I can hear it before you can say it.
Yes.
I read the thoughts, but you need to be strong enough to turn away from it.
Yes.
I'm reading about Joshua in my studies and writing papers on Joshua, and I never thought a term paper on one verse can be so long. Joshua 1:1-9, where Joshua is given the commission to take the children of Israel over the Jordan and into the promised land. Boy, you think you know the word until you start dissecting verse by verse by verse. Did you know that Joshua, right now in that situation, is being promoted to a leader?
Yes, he is.
From a warrior. And in this position, God is challenging him to take his flock and move forward. But in that flock are people who don't want to move with Joshua because they were only used to who? Moses. Moses is not with us anymore. Moses is dead and in the glory and joy in heaven, but we're so stuck on Moses, we don't want to see the new thing that God is doing. That's how we are today.
Yes.
We're so stuck on the status quo, we don't want to see the good movement that God is trying to take you in.
Yes.
So you're being obstinate. And in this opposition, God is challenging you as leaders of the church. God is challenging you as a leader in your life that you need to focus on this new thing and get a grip, get your stuff up, put on, as the kids say, put on a pair of balls, let's move.